The fleet are off the line. SAP with a little bit of speed. Danger now for the young guys on Land Rover BAR. The battle is now between these two. Big moment for Alingi and the Swiss team. Red Bull making it look very easy.
Welcome to the 2017 Extreme Sailing Series. Now in its 11th year and in the super-fast GC32 foiling catamarans, this is the ultimate close-quarters stadium-style racing series spanning 8 events in 8 cities across the globe, culminating in Mexico in December when the champion will be crowned. Here we are in China for the 2017 Extreme Sailing Series. The teams have been soaking up the atmosphere and Chinese hospitality as the series moves east for Act 2, the Qingdao Mazarin Cup. Qingdao hosted the sailing competitions for the 2008 Olympic Games and has a reputation for testing conditions that demand cool heads and calm nerves. The world's media lie in wait as the 7 international squads take to the water for a piece of the action. Last time out at Act 1 in Muscat, it was SAP Extreme Sailing Team that came out of the blocks firing to win the act, with America's Cup sailor Adam Minoprio at the helm. For Qingdao, long-term helmsman and co-skipper Jes Graham Hansen steps back on board the boat, hoping to build on the team's victory.
We had good memories from Qingdao. We won our first extreme sailing event here in Qingdao a couple of 3 years ago, I think it was, and we're trying to repeat that again this year.
Hoping to turn up the heat in China are 2016 champions Alingi and runners-up Oman Air, who occupy 2nd and 3rd spot on the overall leaderboard respectively, going into Act 2. Sitting in 4th overall, Red Bull Sailing Team skipper Roman Hagara will look to make his experience count in the Qingdao venue, having competed here in the 2008 Olympics as well as many times for the Extreme Sailing Series. Following their debut in Muscat, New Zealand Extreme Sailing Team has a new coach in Olympic and America's Cup legend Rod Davis, and co-skipper Chris Steele is looking to be more consistent as his team hits the water for Act 2.
Qingdao, China, Fushan Bay, very difficult conditions, and we found that out yesterday, and obviously extremely different today. It's going to be a lot lighter, and yeah, looking forward to the challenge.
Meanwhile, currently sitting in 7th overall, young British team Land Rover BAR Academy will be looking to up their game and pose a real threat to some of their more experienced counterparts. And no one is happier to see the Extreme Sailing Series return to China than local sailor Liu Shui, also known as Black, Volvo Ocean Racer and co-skipper of wildcard entry Team Extreme. As a native of Qingdao and fast becoming a big name in Chinese sailing, he's hoping to leave his mark on Act 2 this weekend.
We are sailing here in Qingdao. Now, Qingdao also is my hometown. Every time we push 100%, 200%, we want to get to the good place.
Act 2 of the Extreme Sailing Series 2017 awaits. The opening day of the Qingdao Act and China's Olympic sailing city was living up to its reputation for tricky weather conditions, as the wind went from calm to classic in a matter of minutes out on the open water. As well-established rivalries resumed, it was Swiss crew Alingi that emerged on top after 3 races, putting them on an early path to the top of the leaderboard. SAP Extreme Sailing Team also clocked up a win and added a brace of 4th places to secure 2nd overall going into Day 2. Whilst Red Bull Sailing Team completed their first day of racing with 1 win and a 2nd to their name. Meanwhile, Oman Air started strong but struggled with consistency, crossing the line in last place in Race 2 and 5th in the final race of the day, leaving them 5th overall after Day 1. Wildcard crew of the Chinese flag Team Extreme had a slow start, but gave the home crowd something to cheer about when they narrowly missed out on top spot in Race 3.
I'm so proud because when we close to the harbor, the people know me and they say your name. Say, Black, come up, hurry up, and then I get more power to do the racing.
We had 3 good races. I think we sailed well. We won the last race, had a really good last race, and for me personally, it was nice to be back in the boat driving, and you know, also prove that I can win races still.
Day 2, and the teams waited patiently on the water for the conditions to pick up in front of the Qingdao skyline. In the end, race director John Craig made the decision to send the fleet back to the dock. With no scoring racing on the second day of the Qingdao Act, the leaderboard looked even tighter going into the third and penultimate day of racing, with just 12 points splitting the 7 international teams.
I think it's going to be a complicated day, and we're going to need to be up there from the beginning.
You have to be always very careful, especially on this race course here inside, and it's very tricky, very shifty. Have to keep it up until the last moment of every race and then push it.
I think we're going to have to be optimistic today. We're 1 race off being a 2nd place overall, so I think that's really positive for us, and then a few good results today and tomorrow, and then we'll be right up there.
Extreme Sailing Series Young Guns Land Rover BAR Academy went into the action at the bottom of the leaderboard, but the team made the most of the light and shifty conditions early on, notching up 2 race wins.
Sailing through the line, and a big moment for Land Rover BAR Academy as they take their first race win here in Qingdao, and I believe their first race win of the 2017 series.
New Zealand Extreme Sailing Team also looked impressive under their new coach, sailing legend Rod Davis, taking victory in race 8.
Big breeze now for NZ Extreme. Chris Steele keeping control of the GC32. It's going to be NZ Extreme that win race 8 here.
With the punishing conditions finally improving from almost non-existent puffs to 20 knots off full-on breeze, could the rest of the fleet rise to the Qingdao challenge?
Team Extreme being held out of the start at the far end. And as the gun fires, Land Rover BAR Academy looking strong, and it's a Lingy being called over the line at the pin end. Red Bull has got the pressure, and they are in control of the situation here. We're going to go on board now with Roman Agara and listen in as they close in on the windward gate.
Face down! Face down! Main on, give me main. Yeah, nice. Okay, go!
Well, the voice you can hear at the moment is a very agitated Roman Agara, but it's Oman Air putting on a bit of display here for the crowds, getting themselves up on the foils and managing to sail low and cross the bows of SAP, just drifting downwind as the boat lifts up out of the water. But look at this on the right-hand side. All that work from Roman Agara on board Red Bull really paying off. They are still in the lead. On board now with Red Bull as they're going to go round the leeward gate, the only leeward marked rounding in this race.
Travel up.
The finish line comes into view. Land Rover BAR Academy might get another second here, but plenty of breeze, and Red Bull Extreme Sailing is hydrofoiling across the line. 18 knots of boat speed for Red Bull. Look at how much the picture changes as the breeze picks up. 20.7 knots for Red Bull. Land Rover BAR Academy turn up the gas as well. And Oman Air and Phil Robertson make some progress back to their familiar strong form. They're going to take 4th, but going on behind them, and Lingy in a little bit of danger now. And Lingy need to put the bows up. They're not quite laying the finish. And in fact, the team have to go in. Furl the code 0. SAP get the advantage, and a Lingy and SAP cross the finish line simultaneously. We'll have to wait for confirmation.
Red Bull Sailing Team were the first to tame the rising elements, a welcome present for experienced skipper Roman Hagara on his 51st birthday. Had the Austrian flag team finally found their form?
Now look at the charge from Land Rover BAR Academy. The breeze is up, and just how easily are they rolling over the top of the competition. Phil Robertson on board Oman Air, not quite letting them build up the distance that they want. The breeze is up, the breeze has gone round to the left-hand side. Alingi finding a little bit of pace, but it's going to be attack for the Swiss team. No such trouble for Land Rover BAR Academy. Straight into a bearaway, no tacks required. This extra wind, is it coming in, catching some boats off. Red Bull on the right-hand side, up on the foils, code 0 is furled, no need for the big downwind sail. Roman Hagara finding the pace, and he is motoring over the fleet. NZ Extreme, the code 0 is flapping, not quite able to get themselves consistently up on the foils. The breeze is coming down. 25 knots we heard about this morning. Now the breeze comes down. Land Rover BAR Academy round the bottom of the course. Oman Air chasing them in second place. NZ Extreme, and one boat dangerously close to going over. Alingi just holding off a capsize. Red Bull round the bottom. Alingi also there, dangerously close to tipping over. Oman Air very high with the windward hull, but still Land Rover BAR Academy showing what they can do at the front of the fleet. But Oman Air rounding on the inside. Damage done to Land Rover BAR Academy. Phil Robertson, can he get the boat up to speed? Chris Steele also chasing in third place. Big wind now rolling in front. Land Rover BAR Academy in a little bit of danger here with Oman Air. Oman Air have the code 0 out, but it's not pulling them yet. Land Rover BAR Academy electing to keep the code 0 in, hoping that safety and control is going to pay off, but look at this. Here comes Phil Robertson, the code 0 is out, and he is showing the young team how you sail a GC32 downwind. And Phil Robertson, right on the last race of the day, finds his groove, and Oman Air are back on top form.
With series heavyweights Oman Air and Red Bull Sailing Team finding their stride uncharacteristically late, the day belonged to young teams Land Rover BAR Academy and New Zealand Extreme Sailing Team, finishing day 3 in second and third place respectively, behind overall act leaders Alingi.
I think our worst race today was our first one, and we only built from there, which is real positive from my end. I think starting to get a little bit of momentum going, and super stoked from my end of the boat, and hopefully we can do the same thing tomorrow and get a good result overall.
However, with just 6 points splitting the top 3 teams and the final race carrying double points, the Act 2 leaderboard couldn't be tighter going into day 4 of the Qingdao Act. Join us after the break for the final day of the Extreme Sailing Series 2017, Act 2 Qingdao. Don't go away. Welcome back to Qingdao, China for Act 2 of the Extreme Sailing Series Mazarin Cup. Going into the final day of the second act, just 6 points separate the top 3 teams, Alingi, Land Rover BAR Academy, and New Zealand Extreme Sailing Team. But with a full day of racing ahead, including the decisive final double point scoring race, all 3 podium spots are still up for grabs.
Yeah, well, hopefully it's our day. We've definitely strong breeze and suit us a bit more, and yeah, hopefully we can pull a bit of magic out of the hat.
For sure we can do it today. A bit more wind, we really enjoy the wind, so hopefully we can get the job done.
SAP Extreme Sailing Team were quick out of the starting blocks with 2 race wins and a third place finish in the welcome 8 to 18 knots of breeze blowing through Fushan Bay. Meanwhile, Land Rover BAR Academy struggled to find the form that had seen them rise to second place on day 3. Could the young British squad led by skipper Rob Bunce turn their fortunes around? We join the action in race 15.
Inside of 10 seconds to go, and the fleet's very spread out on this line. Alingi, a big charge across the line, but it's incredibly close. Surely Alingi too far across the line as the gun goes. Land Rover BAR Academy managing to keep their breeze clear, and Alingi and SAP confirmed over the line. So it all playing out very well for Land Rover BAR Academy. The battle for first place is between Land Rover BAR Academy and Red Bull, and Roman Agara jibing into a very powerful position over the top of Chris Taylor. Alingi, however, on the foils, the first boat to do so in this race. And will it be a foiling jibe for the Swiss team? Not quite perfection from Arnaud Sarofagas. Land Rover BAR Academy and Red Bull simultaneously round that leeward gate. So first place yet to be decided. Well, Roman Agara on board Red Bull, fighting his way past the boundary. It was very close to some of those orange marks. That's actually marking a little bit of shallow water. But look at that lift coming in from Red Bull right when you don't want it. Roman Agara is now going to have to tack onto a header. And that's not an efficient way to sail into the top of the course. A little bit of a rush there on board Red Bull. It's a header, and also the breeze is down. Code 0. Slow to fill, and at the moment the SAP 3D graphics showing Land Rover BAR Academy in the lead with Alingi in second place. So Red Bull losing out on the seaward side of the course, simultaneously rounding the windward gate, and still Chris Taylor having to fight for the lead. Arnaud Sarofagas from Alingi jibing right on the far side of the course. On the other corner, Land Rover BAR Academy jibing back in as well. At the moment, the breeze, the speed with the Swiss. The British team waiting for the wind to arrive. Watch the speeds on the top left-hand side of your screen. 15 knots, 16 now for Alingi. Land Rover BAR Academy, a much more sedate 10 knots. Will the wind arrive? Is this the moment where Chris Taylor has to settle for second place? And look at this, the breeze still playing into the hands of Alingi. Arnaud Sarofagas finds the wind that carries him off into first place. Land Rover BAR Academy back in second. Well, a little bit of disappointment for Land Rover BAR Academy as they watch Alingi sailing across the line in first place, but you have to hand it to this team. They are really performing today.
With a spectacular win, their second of the day, Extreme Sailing Series 2016 champions Alingi looked strong going into race 16, while Oman Air had added yet another disappointing result to their tally. Who could spoil the party for the Swiss flag team?
9,
Red Bull to windward, code 0 out, not full. NZ Extreme looks set for the charge. SAP Extreme very close to the line. SAP Extreme closest off the line. Red Bull being called over, and look at Alingi's position to the leeward end. SAP and Red Bull, both OCS, slamming on the brakes and letting the fleet go by. And Alingi, Land Rover BAR Academy and NZ Extreme sailing team lined up. And just as I say that, confirmation over the radio, Land Rover BAR Academy also over the line on that start. So the advantage goes to Alingi and Chris Steele on board NZ Extreme. Alingi in the lead, heading out to the seaward side of the course with SAP on a very weak lane behind them. Extra tacks will be punishing, so we can expect these teams to really push the corners. Could this be an upset? Oman Air are coming in. They've still got momentum, still got pace. That windward hull is flying. Alingi on starboard, tacking now, but it's going to be painful. That extra tack is really going to hurt their speed. Oman Air coming in behind. Jenny, Oman Air have the advantage. They have momentum.
And I think they like this left-hand side. I mean, we heard, as I said earlier, Peter Greenhalgh really hammered it that it worked yesterday. They've been trying to use it today, and it hasn't been working. But ultimately, finally, they've just made huge gains on Alingi on this left. And now as we see the split, we see them going back to the same side they just came from. Alingi going out to the bay side. This might be a lead change for Oman Air.
Oman Air and Alingi rounding the top of the course simultaneously, and it's a big scrap for the rest of the players here at the top gate. Oman Air sailing back down into the harbour, and look at this at the top. It does not look pretty with Land Rover BAR Academy and NZ Extreme getting hooked up with each other. Land Rover BAR Academy suddenly slowing down as the breeze dies. Chris Steele caught unawares, and the bear away coming too little too late and striking the leeward hull of Land Rover BAR Academy. And as the two boats get curled up, that was the moment. You can see the force forcing Will Alloway over. Well, looking back at the incident as we go on board now with Land Rover BAR Academy.
There is good pressure here, though.
You can just see NZ Extreme Sailing Team underneath the main.
Right turn.
The dangerous slowdown coming up now for Land Rover BAR Academy.
Left turn. Hey!
Oh, a big crash there, and you could see Will Alloway being swept off his feet. The crew, a momentary loss of concentration with NZ Extreme. Well, I tell you what, in the middle of the track, Alingi have got a gust out of nowhere. Oman Air have jibed over into no wind at all. And Arno Sarafagas has just made up all the distance lost. And now a reverse of fortunes yet again. Just when you thought that Phil Robertson and Oman Air was dead and buried, Oman Air catch the breeze. Oman Air just hanging on to first place here in Qingdao.
Oman Air's second win of the final day catapulted them straight back into the running. But with the final race worth double points, only a win would do for the Omani team. Could skipper Phil Robertson and his experienced crew finish the Qingdao act on a high?
SAP Extreme now starting to charge. Will they roll over the top? Everyone close to the line now.
All clear, all clear.
And the gun fires, all clear, says John Craig over the race control radio. SAP Extreme just getting the better of Oman Air down at the pin end. Oman Air in trouble. The code 0 furls. They're going to be underneath the lay line for this mark. And Oman Air having to tack to lay that first mark. Disaster for Phil Robinson on this double points race. SAP Extreme on the foils now, racing away in first place. No breeze for Red Bull, but Oman Air on the foils for the moment. Team Extreme, not a clean jibe, but just doing enough to stay ahead of Phil Robertson. SAP round the bottom mark. Code 0 still out. Lighter winds for this final double points race. NZ Extreme Sailing Team coming in with a puff out of nowhere, and Red Bull's troubles just keep getting worse. Chris Steele flying high, trying to go round the bows, and Roman Agara very close with Roman Agara defending hard. But Red Bull have another boat slipping past them. Oman Air into second place, NZ Extreme into third, Alingi and Red Bull left to fight it out for fourth. Rasmus Kostner and Jes Gran Hansen tacking round the windward mark. Oman Air rolling the dice. Peter Greenhouse calling some tactics there. They're constantly trying to work out exactly which way they are attacking this course. SAP Extreme on the inside. Oman Air with speed, forcing SAP Extreme onto a very hard turn. This is going to be a bit of a battle now. The final upwind leg, and it's gone the way of Phil Robertson for the time being. Superior boat handling from Oman Air. 3 tacks on this short upwind leg for SAP Extreme. Only 1 needed for Oman Air, and that was the difference. Oman Air have struggled here in China. They have failed to find their winning form, but on the last 2 races for Act 2 Qingdao Mazarin Cup, Oman Air find their form, and now they sail through the finish line, and this performance could see them move onto the podium. But look at this battle for third place. Alingi gonna be forced wide. Red Bull on the inside. The last time we saw Red Bull in this exact same position, winning the penalty with SAP Extreme, the flag flew again. Alingi putting the gas on, sailing over the top, but Red Bull are in danger here. There's a really close ley line. Red Bull did not want to attack where they did. The red flag goes up. Alingi straight into the penalty. Alingi having to slow down and let Red Bull through. The double jibe for Alingi. And Roman Agara coming in on the inside of that final turning mark, proving the winning tactic. Alingi just pushing things a little bit too close. So even though Alinghi finish in 4th place, they know that they've got this act sewn up, and you can see it with the team celebrating there. Arnaud Sarafakis celebrating with his team a well-deserved win for Act 2 Qingdao Mazarin Cup.
We did it really well this week, and even today we had a bad start, but then the team did a fantastic job to come back and win the event. Yeah.
The 2016 Extreme Sailing Series champions Alinghi see off their 6 international rivals to take the overall win at Act 2 Qingdao Mazarin Cup. Despite a collision with New Zealand Extreme Sailing Team in race 16, which meant they had to sit out of the final 2 races, Redress sees the runner-up spot awarded to Young Guns Land Rover BAR Academy, their best result since joining the series in 2016. Oman Air's sensational comeback sees them complete the podium in 3rd place. With their victory here in Act 2, the Swiss-flagged Alinghi leapfrogged the SAP Extreme Sailing Team into the top spot on the 2017 Extreme Sailing Series overall standings, while Oman Air hold on to 3rd and Land Rover BAR Academy jumped to 4th from 6th. Red Bull Sailing Team and New Zealand Extreme Sailing Team make up the bottom 2 places in the standings, as we head to the Madeira Islands, Portugal, for the 3rd act of the 2017 Extreme Sailing Series.